When a person learns that they have cancer, it's overwhelming. Their life changes. I volunteer because of cancer in my own family. My brother had cancer, and I just want to give back what I saw done for members in my own family. SOMC Cancer Center has some advantages that I think you won't find other places. It's all here under one roof. The patients come in and out with smiles on their face. It's being done right here in our own little town of Portsmouth.
The SOMC Cancer Center. Very good things are happening here.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank the supervisors, auditor, staff, council, and everyone that's worked on the budget for 2012 coming up, as we have a final vote on that tonight. Couldn't be more pleased with all the input and work everyone's done on it. Reminder for council, as well as myself, to file their financial disclosure statements with the State of Ohio Ethics Commission. Those are due early March. We have posted the position for water treatment plant supervisor in-house today with a full job description. That's to replace Jim McCord, who will be retiring at the end of the month. And that'll be up for 5 days. Then we'll take it down and go through the applicants. The Green Acres Levee Improvements Fund, the ODNR now has all of our final inspection manuals and emergency action plans to approve. So going forward, we're going to have to maintain routine inspections and documentation with that. I think they're going to come back about after 5 years to make sure we're doing it. So we should have the approval. I think they'll approve its documents pretty soon, and that way Dean can get started on an inspection, I would assume early spring. I did meet with Ken Reed this week, who is Pike County's Director for the Office of Community and Economic Development. Talked about a lot of different things, solid waste management plan. I'll be meeting with him again probably in the next couple of weeks and see what he has outlined he wants to do in the area, and what we want to put through for council to look at. He had a lot of ideas. It was basically a general informational meeting to get me up to speed with what he's been doing, and it's the first time I've gotten to meet with him. I also spoke with Chris Mangold, which he was the one that helped us with the business incentives to try to recruit some new businesses into the area, with a commitment on our part to look into tax breaks and everything. If an employer will come in, pay a certain percentage above minimum wage and employ X amount of people. I will be following up with him next week with an update on some of the status of Mills Pride facility and different things. So that'll be basically informational. Hopefully we still have some hope that facility will be sold to someone who wants to develop it or keep it active. And I have made calls to Time Warner concerning the council meetings, if we can get those on the air. I haven't heard anything back yet. And Verizon was wanting to run fiber lines into some of the businesses. We're following up on that. Everything I'm understanding now is any franchise agreement we had before most likely went away when everything was deregulated about 5 years ago. Horizon has come in before and done high-speed internet for Adina's urgent care and different things. So I think really all I'm going to be waiting on once I contact Horizon is just the physical drawings of where they plan on running the lines, so that we can make sure they don't interfere with water, sewer lines, and our infrastructure. That's all I have.
Been about a month ago that I got a telephone call and said there was a couple of, during the windstorm and rainstorm we had, a couple of trees that fell across blocking the levee down here. And so I called Robin and told her about it, and she put it in the appropriate supervisor's hands. And I checked with her again, it was Friday, and she said I got another call on Friday because concerned people down there were afraid it would block water if they had a flood, cause the levee down there to flood. And she said she had put it in the appropriate boxes in the appropriate hand, and I called down there and tried to get a hold of a supervisor, but I talked to one of his helpers down there, and I never did get any return on it, so I don't know yet to the day where it's going to be done or not, or who's going to do it, or whose job it is to do it. But the thing of it is that it's somebody's job, and it seemed like they didn't want to do it, but they didn't want to get a contractor and do it, which I don't think's right either. And anybody could take a chainsaw and cut it in two, and it would leave the problem. I don't know where anybody else got anything on that or not, but
Yeah, I actually I had an email from Dean, said he went down a couple times with equipment to get that out, and the soil was so soft that they weren't able to really get in there and work without making a big mess of everything, and then have to do a lot of repair work. So as of right now, they're just waiting on one of two things. If it becomes an emergency where it's imminent, you know, water's going to come up and cause flooding, they'll go down and pull it out regardless. Otherwise, they're just waiting on the soil to get a little bit more solid to go in and get that.
Finance?
Yes, we're still going up a little bit, so thankful for that. We started off the month with $379,254.22. The bills were $10,647.09 for a total of $368,607.13 for balance. Last month it was 341 balance.
Ordinance 04-2012, which is the third reading to amend ordinance 66-2011, the budget appropriation for the year 2012. Call the roll.
Thompson.
Aye.
Brian Blakeman.
Aye.
Cormany. Aye. Forrest Blakeman.
Aye.
Demlow.
Aye.
Patterson.
Aye. Passed. Next one is ordinance 05-2012, the third reading to amend the ordinance 67-2011, the proposal wage ordinance for the year 2012. Joyce, you want to read that?
Ordinance 5-2012, purpose to amend ordinance 67-2011, the proposed wage ordinance for the year 2012.
Any discussion on that?
I do have a question about the final section. This ordinance shall be in effect from and after the pay period beginning January 1st, 2012. So this means it's retroactive to January 1st. And how does that impact? And the only thing I know specifically, a lot of employees have taken advantage of the clothing allowance since January 1st, and so how is this going to impact them and that?
My understanding is on the clothing allowance, everyone's pretty much taking advantage of that. I don't think anything's waiting when they know it's going to close. I think everyone's gotten that. The one thing it could affect, we've been paying comp time out quarterly. I mean, it may affect there, so if council wants to just make it effective, you know, March 1st, I don't know how rough that would be on the auditor staff. Make it effective March 1st instead of retroactive to January. Does that hurt you?
On comp line?
On the whole ordinance.
Oh,
I don't think it would affect you, would it?
I don't think so. It'd probably look a lot better to the auditors at that time instead of us passing it tonight and going back a month and a half or two.
Going just March 1st?
You know.
So we may want to amend the ordinance to that. The only other thing that I would say, and everything's in here that was amended from the last meeting, allowing the employees to sell the full 2 weeks back, vacation, 3 days personal. We cleaned up everything we discussed with the department heads on licensing, and everything there looks like it's in here correctly. The one thing Harvey had mentioned, and I forgot to communicate, to be honest, was when we do the comp time, he had actually asked if it would be possible for them to pay that out in the pay period that it was earned. So if they work and earn comp time, they get paid twice a month. If they do not indicate a desire to carry comp time or to use it as comp time, to just pay them in that pay period. We may want to amend it to that, because you said if they pay out every pay period, it makes it easier on the staff keeping track of it.
When we paid every 3 months, we had quite a drain sometimes on the budget because of the comp time that was for 3 months. We would rather pay it every pay period. And if they want to carry it as comp time, they can carry it as comp time, but they won't get paid for it past that time. In other words, they've either got to tell us it's going to be comp time taken later, or they want paid at pay period. Okay? No problem with that, is it?
Whatever's easiest for you.
Well, makes our budget cash flow a little easier too.
Keeps it a little more even.
So they're gonna have to notify you prior to the end of every.
If they don't ask us, if they don't tell us they want to carry it as comp time, if they're going to use it a month or two later, then it's going to be paid on that payday.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that's simple enough to communicate, so.
Brian Blakeman,
Abstain.
Cormany,
Aye.
Demlo,
Aye.
Thompson,
Aye.
Forrest Blakeman,
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye. Pass.